Marc Levy, a debut French author, published his romance novel C'était vrai in 1999. The following year, it was translated into English as If Only It Were True and quickly became a bestseller. The novel's popularity led to film adaptations in both French and English. At its heart, the story is a poignant romance between a man and the spirit of a woman who lies in a coma. Levy later followed up with a sequel titled Vous Revoir, Meeting Again. The novel centers on Lauren, a young and dedicated medical resident in the emergency department of San Francisco Memorial Hospital. Her demanding schedule leaves little room for a personal life. One evening, after a grueling shift, Lauren crashes her aging Triumph on rain-slicked roads. The accident is nearly fatal, and she ends up in her own hospital, this time as a patient, diagnosed with a severe grade 4 coma. 6 months later, Lauren becomes aware of her own consciousness, discovering she can exist outside her physical body in a ghost-like form. She soon learns she can transport herself anywhere, simply by thinking about the location. However, no one can see, hear, or touch her. She is invisible and intangible, passing through people and objects alike. Over time, the isolation becomes unbearable, and she retreats to the last place she felt at home, her old apartment. But her apartment is no longer hers. It has been rented by Arthur, a recently single architect. One day, he opens a bathroom cabinet and is stunned to find a young woman inside. It's Lauren. To their mutual astonishment, Arthur can not only see and hear her, but can also physically touch her. Skeptical at first, Arthur listens as Lauren begins her story with a warning. What I'm going to tell you isn't easy to hear. It's almost impossible to accept. But if you're willing to listen, if you can trust me, then maybe you'll come to believe me. And that's important, because you're the only person in the world I can share this secret with. Arthur eventually visits the hospital and sees Lauren's comatose body with his own eyes. Convinced by the undeniable truth, he begins spending more time with her. As they talk, they discover deep similarities and form a powerful bond. What starts as friendship soon blossoms into love. However, their connection isn't without complications. From the outside, Arthur appears to be having long, animated conversations with no one. Concerned for his mental health, his friends begin to worry. He confides in his best friend Paul, who remains doubtful but stands by him nonetheless. Meanwhile, Lauren's doctors inform her mother that there is no hope of recovery. They urge her to consider ending life support and letting her daughter go. As her mother struggles with this heartbreaking decision, Arthur notices a troubling change. Lauren's presence is becoming fainter. They both realize that if the machines are turned off, her spirit will vanish completely. Desperate to save her, Arthur and Lauren enlist the help of his best friend, Paul, and together they devise a bold plan to steal Lauren's body from the hospital. What follows is a tense and often chaotic heist, including moments like Arthur, disguised as a doctor, being mistaken for a real physician and called to treat a diabetic emergency. Despite the obstacles, they succeed in taking Lauren's body to an old, secluded house by the sea, once owned by Arthur's mother and abandoned since her death during his childhood. There, in the stillness and intimacy of the seaside home, Arthur begins to confront his long-buried grief. It is also there that he and Lauren finally confess their love for each other. However, their time together is short-lived. Arthur is not a seasoned criminal, and it doesn't take long for Detective Georges Pilguez to track him down. When Arthur explains the surreal truth about Lauren's spirit and their connection, the detective listens with skepticism, but also compassion. Rather than pressing charges, Pilguez decides the best course is simply to return Lauren's body to the hospital. Back at the hospital, Lauren's spirit grows increasingly faint. She and Arthur spend their final moments cherishing what little time they have left. Then she disappears entirely. Believing she has died, Arthur is overcome with grief and sinks into mourning. Unbeknownst to him, Lauren awakens from her coma days later, gradually regaining her strength. Her mother tells her about the mysterious man who had stolen and then returned her body, but Lauren remembers nothing from her time in the coma. Arthur, the man she shared so much with in spirit, is a complete stranger to her. 10 days later, Arthur receives an unexpected call. Lauren wants to meet the man who risked everything for her. When they meet, he tells her how much he's missed her, only for Lauren to gently ask who he is. The novel ends with Arthur repeating the same words Lauren once said to him. What I'm going to tell you isn't easy to hear. It's almost impossible to believe. But if you're willing to listen to our story, and if you can trust me, then maybe you'll come to believe me. And that's important, because you are, without knowing it, the only person in the world with whom I can share this secret. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy this video, leave a like and subscribe.